In this program, we'll control the value of a variable with a button and then use the variable to set the tone we're playing on a speaker. The first step is to create that variable. We want it to be an integer type or a whole number, so we'll type int, then give the variable a name. I'm naming it pitch, and give it a starting value. I'm starting pitch at 40 because the speaker sounds best at a minimum of 40 Hertz. Within the void setup function, we'll use the pin mode function with arguments A5 and output to set up the speaker. Then we'll use the pin mode function with arguments 2 and input pull up to set up the button. In the void loop function, the first thing we see is a tone function. The tone function has two arguments. First, the port where you'd like the tone to play, and second, the tone you'd like to play. In the past, we've used values like 400 or 4000 to determine the Hertz value we want to play on the speaker. Here, we're instead using the value of the variable to determine the Hertz that we'll play. So the first time this loop runs, it's going to play a value of 40 Hertz on port A5 where the speaker's plugged in. Next, we have an if statement, and the if statement has two main parts. Between the parentheses is a condition that's checked every time the if statement is run. Between the curly braces are actions that are run when the condition is true. So the condition of this if statement is if digital read 2 equals low. That means if the button is pressed and sending a low signal through port 2, then this condition will be true and the code inside the curly braces will run. The only line of code inside this if statement is pitch plus plus, and that plus plus indicates that pitch is going to increase by 1. So if pitch was 40 and you press down the button, the first time this if statement runs, pitch will become 41. If the condition of the if statement is false, the actions of the if statement are skipped. There aren't any delays in this void loop, so it's going to run really quickly, starting by playing the tone with whatever the value of pitch is as the Hertz value, and then checking the if statement. If the if statement is not true, it's going to fall to the bottom of the void loop, jump back up, and play the same pitch it played on the last run of the void loop. When you press down on button 2, pitch will increase by 1. But remember, because there are no delays, you might be able to press down on the button for just a second. The void loop may run a dozen times or more, and so pitch may increase by 1, come back through the loop, increase again, come back through the loop, increase again, and do that 10 or more times before you can even release the button. If you want the pitch to rise more steadily, you could add a delay function inside this if statement so that you'll have a little bit of time to release the button before you hear the new pitch.